Yes. Welcome to Slant of a Changing Man. My name is Gold, and hope everybody's doing good today. So, hitting you with another episode. Man, really excited about this one because it's the second one of me being back, and I feel like I'm more prepared for what I was going to be talking about. And that's basically the subject, is being more prepared. Being more prepared for the things that you want. There's a lot of people that have their interpretation upon being prepared for a lot. Being prepared for not only the things that you want, but the things that you need. So, if you look at the world today, like, we are in a situation to stay at home. We are in a situation of not being able to go to work. A whole bunch of financial situations because we were not prepared. We're not prepared for this situation. We are not ready for what was coming to us. Not only because of the fact that the government was not ready for it, but we as individuals were not ready for this situation. A lot of people are out of work and don't have a lot of financial needs because of what's going on. Like, we are in a panic mode because we were not prepared financially. We were not prepared mentally. We were not prepared physically. A lot of people are actually doing their thing to try to get themselves on track as far as what they're doing for the situation, but still, in a sense, we are going through this because we were not prepared. I worked at a job where a lot of people were not prepared for what was going to go down. Also, when we looked at the people we were calling, they weren't prepared either. So even though they wanted the product and the situation was so grand for them, because they were not prepared for it, they couldn't oversee what they were actually fearing instead of being prepared for the situation and being able to act upon it in a way that it was that it was being presented to them, and also for what they wanted in the future. So when I look at situations like that for like a relationship, I see a lot of women that are not prepared for the man that they want. They may feel as if they want that type of person. They may feel as if they need that type of person, but because of the fact that they're still in situations doing things that they feel is not putting them in the mode for that type of guy, they feel like when that guy comes in, that's when the changes are supposed to happen, and he'll let them know how to change, and then according to that, that will be the case. Well, I look at it like this. We haven't been taught to be prepared for these situations, or a lot of situations, and because of that, we're just freestyling the way that we think that things are supposed to be happening for us. One of the Bible terms that a lot of people say is, you have not because you ask not. And for me, before I really started looking at my life and changing it around to become the person that I wanted to be, it was basically all about, like, just being able to do something and not being prepared for the situation, just being able to do something. And right now, I'm saying my mind, but yesterday a friend came over to my spot and I was not prepared for it. I really wasn't. And so when they came in, she was like, "Ooh, this is a bachelor's pad." I was like, "No, it's really not. I'm in the process of cleaning. I was supposed to clean up, but I've been up for hours, and I went to work and I've done my stuff. But I sat down and I played the game, and I wasn't prepared for company to come over and be impressed by how I handle things, and it wasn't in the way that I wanted it to. And for a while, I was, like days before that, I was all about planning for, a visitor to come over if they had to stop over for any reason. I was all about preparing for that. But then I had stopped, and I got a little lazy upon what I was doing, and that's when the situation really hit, like boom. I can't just clean up when they come over. I don't have enough time. I can't just have them outside waiting for me to clean up my house. So this is what I'm going to have to present and hope that they're okay with the scenery. I mean, my bathroom was clean, but I did my meal prep for the week, and so my dishes weren't clean, and I'm going through a situation with the way that my sink is working at the moment, so I didn't prepare myself for that. My room, it was a little messy because of the fact that I was cleaning up my bed, but I just wasn't prepared for the scenery. I wasn't prepared for the opportunity, and that's the thing that kind of messed me up. But it gave me an insight, because you will most likely get the opportunity to do things in a time where you're not ready. A lot of times we're given opportunity for the best things, the things that we want the most, and we're not mentally ready for those things. And we never want that to be the case. We never want to feel like that is the case. But truthfully, when does it really happen? We feel like, it's a time, and, when we get the right person, we'll know. We never know. You never really know when that person is, and that's one thing that hurt me the most. When I went through my most, I'm saying, when I went through a relationship, and I felt like that was the one, was because mentally I wasn't ready. Mentally, I was saying if I got the right female and this and that and all this other stuff, yeah, I was gonna get it together. But when was what messed me up. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and she told me when, I was telling her like, hey, maybe you're attracting the wrong type of people, and that's why you're getting those people. She wasn't looking at that. She was looking at, you don't like my posts. And I was like, no, it's not about me not liking your posts. It's about me feeling as if, the type of men that you're attracting is one of those that are not what you are liking. And she was like, well, when he comes along. But I'm like, what if he's already there, just looking and waiting for you to change your thing? She wasn't trying to hear that. And in life, we really aren't trying to hear that. We really aren't trying to be prepared for the moments that, things change, and when they're for the better, you're actually able to apply it, in the right way. You're actually ready mentally, physically, emotionally. You're actually ready for these things. Like I said before, you have not because you ask not. It's not you just saying that I want that, but you are actually acting as if you want it as well. You actually seeing like, hey, this is what I want, so let me prepare for it. Let me get it ready. Let me do what I got to do. Let me put myself in these situations. If any problem occurs, let me basically be ready for whatever is going down. And for me, I like to be the best, so that means that, like, if I'm going to be the best, I got to be prepared to be the best. I got to be ready for those moments. I got to be able to. I was not really a practice type of person. I was always an in-game type of person. I felt like in-game was more practice than practice. I really didn't like to practice. But, I really did my thing when it came to in-game situations. But more and more, I started to see how much practice is needed for the preparation of the inside to instinctively be ready for situations that you could just act upon naturally and not have to, guess around and, be out of order and try to figure it out. So as many situations as I can see, I try to prepare myself, by practicing what's going on. Because if I'm not ready, and that situation just comes and it's like boom, it'll just pass you by, and you'll be watching on the wayside while somebody else takes that opportunity. Somebody else gets that thing that you really wanted. Somebody else being able to show your smile within the situation of what you think should be going on. I was in a shelter for 9 months. And in me being homeless and in the shelter, people were all over the place. Mentally, people were all over the place. You had people that no doubt did not want any change coming towards there. They felt comfortable in that lifestyle. They did not want to change anything. Then you had people that were wanting to change, but were not willing to put in what they needed as far as what was going on for that change. Like mentally, they felt like, oh, I do this and I do that, so I deserve this. And really, it really wasn't, they really weren't ready at all. And I can't say like they really weren't ready, but, like I felt as if they really weren't ready at all. And it would show with different type of stuff. Then there were people that were like, yeah, I'm ready for the opportunity. And they never practiced for the type of situation, but they would just go off of what they think should be done. And you would see that, I was in there 9 months, so you would see people leave, 3 months into it, telling me how I should handle things and what I should be doing and how things should be going. And then you would see them come right back. Months later, they would get their place, and then they would come right back to the shelter. And it was like, oh man, like what happened? Oh, well, this happened and that happened and this, and it was like, you're not prepared for it. You weren't really prepared for it. You were just wanting the situation. Not saying that I'm perfect, or I haven't went through a change like that. But I'm telling you that in the sense of preparations, I've seen a lot of it. So it wasn't where I would see myself wanting to change. I was preparing myself for the change before I left. Before I got out of that situation, I was preparing myself for when I got my home. I was imagining myself what I was going to do. I was seeing myself in the home doing things that would change myself from being a person that was in that situation into the situation I'm in right now. And even as I am in a situation right now that I feel good, I don't feel like it's going to be the last of my situation. I'm not staying in this situation. So my mindset is not only changing for the better, but it's preparing me for a change. So the same way I did when I was in the low situation, I'm doing in the higher situation. Because I want better. And I know that if I want better, if I want this full situation, what I have to do is be prepared to handle it. If you look back in the past, a lot of people were prepared for marriage. Not by just being around marriage, but being around other people that were around marriage to see, like, this is the situation. in the situation, a lot of stuff may have went wrong, but they were prepared for getting married. When I look at me as a kid, we weren't preparing for marriage. We weren't preparing for life outside of school. We were, hey, the relationships. Oh, somebody's in a relationship. Oh, man, I'm having fun. What y'all doing this weekend? Oh, man, school and school and school. But relationships. And it wasn't really about preparing yourself for what's going on after. It was like, what's going on right now. A lot of those situations were what's going on right now, within what was happening. My mom was a person that prepared me for cleaning, which I just said I got done not cleaning my house, but I cleaned it. But she was a person that prepared me for cleaning, but she was not a person that prepared me for homework or extra school work or, just basically being on track of keeping my grades good. So I decided I wasn't going to do my homework. And because of that, I went back. Not saying that I wasn't, my mom was supposed to prepare me, but still in the same sense, it wasn't a skill that was basically worked upon to make it so that instinctively I was doing my homework when I got home from school. Instead, I was trying to press the limits on how fast I could do the dishes before she walked in the door when I seen her pull up. But so we're going through living in the moment. What are you prepared for? I try to look at situations that I put myself into and see how differently I should have handled it. What should I have done? What did I want in that situation that I did not apply to that situation? And how would I apply it the next time? How are people around me handling themselves? It's all about preparation. So because of that, you got to be ready. I've seen that I look at a lot of situations about past horrors. And I looked at a lot of people that transition themselves into a better situation after those horrors were over. What did they do? How did they think? Where were they going? And a lot of it was they were thinking forward. While people are thinking, what they're going to do right now, a lot of them were celebrating that victory of getting out of that situation and thinking forward to what they were going to do after the situation was over. When you look at a lot of movies, people aren't talking, there's a scene where people would talk about, like, a war movies. People would talk about what they're going back to. It's more of keeping you in the mindset of staying sane, that you're not stuck in this situation. You will get out of it. I got a saying that soldiers prepare themselves for not dying in the war, while warriors are celebrating their victory before the war begins. And in that, it's very much the same thing as far as how we do things in life. If you're prepared for it, you will get it. You have not because you ask not. Well, that's been me. I think I'm going to wrap it up I don't want to go into too much rambling. I think that the point was hit. I think that it was explained well and could have been explained better. Most likely. but it's me that did it. So I'm hoping everybody has a good day, good week, good month. And the word today was think. And what follows behind, ahead. So think ahead of the situation. Don't stay in right now. All right.